Hello. It's time for the Advent Challenge. Remember the 30 days of no sugar during the Christmas season challenge. I'm going to give you an update today. It's day 4. So if you don't know me, I'm Amanda Kilder. I'm a Christian weight loss and life coach. And a little bit of background about the no sugar. Before this, I ate relatively low sugar. And I would say that in the last 3 months, September, October, November, it's steadily been creeping in more and more and more. And so I really wanted to take this opportunity because I noticed especially at night, my brain really looking for food. Instead of what I wanted to be doing, I wanted to be searching for God and ways to be filled by Him and not the food around me. And so I decided to do this Advent challenge. I have others of you joining me, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear how you're doing. Please comment below with your updates. And I want to give you an update. It's day 4. We are the Monday after Thanksgiving. And a little bit about my life since Thanksgiving. The day after, we had a dual birthday party for my oldest and my youngest. They both don't really love cake. So every year we do ice cream cake, 2 ice cream cakes, made them, didn't even lick the spoons, made it through the day without having any sugar. Saturday was relatively easy. Yesterday was relatively easy. What I thought was going to be really hard, I thought Friday was going to be super hard with the birthday parties, actually turned out to be one of the easiest days. And I'm going to tell you more about that here. But first, like I said, I had done a lot of low sugar before this. What surprised me that didn't have sugar were pretzels. And for some reason, I thought cream cheese had it, but it doesn't. And so there's a taco dip I like, and I could have taco dip. I didn't eat a ton of the pretzels, but I did eat quite a bit of the taco dip. What does have sugar that kind of surprised me again was tortillas. Even though I don't eat them all that often and they don't have that much sugar. I think it was a gram per tortilla. And then some oat milks because I like to have oat milk in my coffee in the morning. So that kind of cuts out going to the coffee shop right now because I don't know what kind of oat milk they're using. But that's okay. Save some money, make my coffee at home, right? Like I said, what I thought would be the hardest part, which was I actually thought starting was going to be the hardest part, getting back into the swing of really having no sugar. But when I think back about when I start anything, I usually have a lot of excitement and motivation. It's not the starting that's hard. It's usually the finishing strong. And when I think back on my clients and where they struggled, that's usually where they struggle too. There's this point kind of around, because I usually coach for about 6 months. And so that there's a point around week 4 to 6 that I find my clients really struggle with. And then at the end, finishing strong. So I'm really starting to think about that and plan for that as we go into the weeks ahead. But I had birthday parties, I had leftovers, I have lots of unscheduled events the last 3 days, which often leads to overeating for me and mindlessly eating, not thinking about what I was putting in my mouth. And I'm proud to say I haven't failed yet. I'm totally okay if I do fail. And I'm going to share that with you because I think it's really important that I don't consider that a failure. I don't consider me eating sugar during these next 30 days as me failing the challenge. The only way I would fail is if I quit the challenge. I just decide I had it and now I'm done. Now I'm not going to have any, I'm just going to keep having sugar. That to me is failure. But I've been strong these first 3 days into the 4th. During the weeks I get in my routine, I don't usually struggle. But as I prepare ahead, I have 2 nights this week with potluckish the dinners that I don't really get to control, that I'm helping out with. So I'm actually eating at home and just helping out with the meals there. I always feel better when I do this anyway, so I'm kind of excited to already just plan for that. And I feel so good saying no to sugar right now. I actually feel really empowered. That's the biggest takeaway that I want to really encourage you with as you're starting right now, okay? Sometimes, I'll have the sneaky thoughts that I'm going to feel deprived if I say no to this sugary treat or enjoying myself, right? But when it really comes down to it, I don't. I don't feel deprived. I love how my body feels these last few days. I love just not even having the mental drama about it. It was like, nope, I'm just not doing sugar. No. And it reminds me to really remind you guys again, deprivation is just a mindset. It's what you think when you're saying no or after you've said no. Okay? Are you telling yourself, oh, I'm missing out. It's such a bummer that I didn't get it to eat that. It's so unfair that everybody else is having it. Or are you saying, wow, that felt really good. That's not a problem. I'm really proud of myself for not having this. I'm not even going to think about this again. I love the decision I'm making. And that's the difference between an empowered mindset around food and a deprived mindset around food. Because no matter what, as Christians, we are supposed to live within boundaries. We have boundaries around us to protect us. And that even goes with food. It's not that you have to totally, cut out sugar forever, even though that works for some people. But you don't have to do that. But you do have to have some boundaries around foods for the health of your temple. And it's all about how you think about those boundaries. Do you love them? Do you find all the ways that really support you? How God's working through having those boundaries? Are you proud of yourself when you uphold those boundaries? Are you reminding yourself of the hard work you're doing? Or are you feeling like you're missing out when you actually uphold your boundaries? Are you disappointed, right? You get to decide. All right. I can't wait to hear about your updates. And if you're watching this later, I encourage you to hop on the bandwagon now, even if it's like 10 more days until Christmas, 5 more days until Christmas. Challenge yourself with something. It doesn't even have to be no sugar. Just challenge yourself to make a boundary for yourself and stick with it for the next 5 days. And instead of feeling, deprived by that boundary, love it. See how God's working through it. Look for how God's working through it. It's going to be amazing. Just going to grow your relationship with Christ. All right. I can't wait to hear from you guys, like I said before, and we'll talk soon.